today's video, I would like to talk about the importance of giving first. Because in business, we are expected to receive, or a business is about exchange, right? You're exchanging your goods or your services for a return in terms of money. But in this video, I would like to explain why you need to give first in order to make receiving a lot easier. Let's get started. If we haven't met before, my name is Beatrice Yakubu, founder of Simply Family Business. My mission is to help you start a business with your child so that you get to have an influence and impact in their growing years without suffering financial consequences. Here we go. Wait, 3 reasons why I believe that giving is important. Number one is that when you give first, people love people who give. In fact, has there ever been a time in your life where you just get fed up hearing somebody ask and continuously ask? Especially within families, we find that a lot, that some people will just want to take and continue to take, and that also impact or reflects same thing in business. When you constantly ask people either for them to follow you or for them to do XYZ without you providing anything or any value of that sort, that can be annoying to say the least. And in terms of giving, there are so many evidence that has gone to stress on the point about giving. The point is that when you give someone first, it just makes you look friendly. And many people like people who give. And for that reason, when you as a business owner come across as friendly, number one, people are very skeptical, especially in the online space. They are very skeptical about people. They are very skeptical about what people are asking them to do. They are very skeptical about putting in even their phone number. Not phone. Phone is a bit intrusive. Even their email number, address. People are very skeptical about putting that into something. But when it's a gift, obviously it is an exchange, even though they are not paying money. But if it's something valuable to them, they are going to be willing to part with their email address, at least to be able to get what it is that you are offering. And so in terms of giving, bear in mind that the giving is not just your the gift for your lead magnets, but even for information. So for example, when you hear people talk about, share videos, when I started, obviously I had to learn so much from people that I haven't even invested in. But because they were giving and giving and giving, there came a time that it was just a no-brainer for me to move a step further with them in order to get more of what I needed to be able to progress in my career path as well. So people give and give. And I will just say an example of this guy called Montel Godwin. So Montel is an internet online business owner. He does, he's a social media marketer, a successful one at that. And I watched one of his videos that was talking about how to use Upwork. Up until that point, even though I was in training, I invested with someone else, and I was in training. I trained for some time, and he kind of mentioned Upwork in passing, Upwork on how to hire people. It wasn't as in-depth or straightforward, I would say, as how Montel kind of laid it out on a free YouTube video. And when I followed his steps, guess what? I was able to create my own platform on Upwork, which really made sense in order for me to be able to attract clients. Because at that point, the first time I went on Upwork was in 2018, believe it or not. And I hired somebody to do my social media for me. It really didn't work out well. And I spent a lot of money there. And I had to stop because I didn't know what I was doing. They didn't know what they were doing. And I had to stop, even though I was in training. But when I had the free video from Montel, it just made sense. I followed the step-by-step process. I went on Upwork, created my profile, started applying for jobs, and I soon got the jobs that I literally was blown away. I didn't think that was possible at all. And so when it came for him, he started his course. It was a no-brainer for me to sign up for it, because I knew that I will get far more than what I got from the YouTube. So yes, that is one example of giving. And indeed, when you give, the receiving comes in a different way that you could, you will least expect. Number two is for you to, it removes the feeling of neediness. So again, when it comes to the online space, a lot of people are just asking for without, and it makes you needy. Anybody who would be asking for first, usually it feels like, okay, you are in need so much. And as a business owner, that is not the way to go. You want to be able to add value to people. You want to be able to get people to understand certain concepts. You want to be able to get them to kind of trust what you are saying, or trust this process of where you want to lead them to. Russell Brunson says that in business, you are a leader, whether you like it or not, and your responsibility is to lead people from one place to the other, from where they are to where you want them to be, or where it will be nice for them, or where they are anticipating themselves to be. How are you going to get there is for you to provide them much value, and in that it removes the neediness, even though eventually they will pay because there's a saying that information is for free and implementation for fee. Of course, when you provide people with value, at least they'll be able to use it, somehow, before it gets to that point where you do not even have to ask them to invest in what you are creating or what you are providing. Last but not the least point of this is it activates the law of reciprocity. Reciprocity. I always find it difficult to pronounce this word. The law of reciprocity. That means the law of giving back. So it is just natural for human beings. When someone gives you, it is natural for you to give back. So when you start first by giving the information, sharing what you know, whatever it is that you are learning, sharing with people. Guess what? When it comes to the time for them to give back, it's a no-brainer for them to give back, like I have illustrated with myself and Montel. So those are the reasons why giving first is important. Don't apply the ask and it shall be given principle as far as the business is concerned. It has to be give and it shall be given. So if for anything at all that you would take away from this video, think about give and it shall be given. Thank you so much for listening. I will come your way once again. Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like the video, turn your notification bell on, so that when I release a video, it will you'll be notified. And indeed, send me a comment. Send me if you want a different type of video. Let me know, and I'll shoot one for you. Take care and see you later.